Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast, and I am rocking the shades because we got lights, camera, action taking place in Saudi Arabia between influencer turned boxer Jake Paul versus boxer Tommy Fury. I think we got a good one, and joined by me is my special guest and friend Embry, who's a boxing enthusiast, and we're gonna get right into it, man. So, I mean, there's been a lot of chitter chatter leading up to the fight between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, and it's been a lot of tension just because, you know, Jake Paul is still fighting to get his respect in the boxing space. I mean, he doesn't need my respect. I've seen the work he's been putting in. Tommy Fury kind of wants to put an end to this whole influencer can come into boxing type of stuff, man. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Embry?
Hey, first off, thank you. I'm glad to be here, man. And also, I got to tell you, he doesn't need to earn my respect anymore either, man. You know, he's been doing this for years. And, you know, I hate to say I show a little bit of bias, but I do happen to have all the different prime flavors here. So I think you know who I rock with in this fight. An end to influencer boxing? Absolutely not. That is going to continue. I think the bigger question is going to be, who is Tommy going to fight next after this? If he loses, is he going to fight at all? I think we're going to find out Sunday, really, if someone's career is going to end.
Right, because I mean, this is Jake Paul's event, right? I mean, I know people who know boxing like yourself. You knew of Tommy Fury, but let's be real. I mean, Jake Paul has put this dude on the map. He's filled his bags. And Tommy just doesn't seem very grateful for that. You know, it's like he wants to put an end to it, but it's like, yo, bro, like some of your biggest payouts is going to be from this influencer boxing. I mean, Jake alluded to it himself in these press conferences they've been having leading up to the fight, man. So put an end to it. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, money talks, and we know that money is going to be the driving factor that, you know, I think that when these gate numbers or these pay-per-view numbers come out after the fight, you know, I think this is going to be a big trend going forward, and Jake Paul has positioned himself to kind of be one of the founding fathers and the front man to lead this push.
Man, I got to agree with that entirely. I mean, well, first off, like if Tommy loses, like he's going to become an influencer boxer. Let's not pretend like he's not gonna, because he's not gonna fight any more pros. Right. He's gonna chase quick bags. I mean, let's be honest.
Right. So the next thing is this, right? Jake Paul really believes he can win this fight in 4 rounds. Do you think it's gonna go? Do you think he can win this in 4 rounds, or do you actually think this is gonna go the full distance? You know, there's been talks with, Tommy hasn't been able to, go past 8 rounds or something like that. I don't know about Jake either as well. So I think this is uncharted territory for both fighters. So do you think that Jake can clear Tommy out in 4 rounds?
So, I mean, there's a little bit of yes and no in there, right? Like, Tommy has got 8 fights under his belt. He's 8-0. He has never gone 8 rounds. Jake Paul, on the other hand, 6-0. Let's call him 3-0, right? Because most people discount those first 3. But Jake has done 8 rounds before. So, Jake actually does have more experience going more rounds, albeit with less experienced folks. But to your question, 4 rounds, I think, as much as I hate to say it, the fighter who's going to win within 4 rounds is most likely going to be the guy who doesn't gas out first and the other guy makes a mistake. I mean, that sounds generic, but Tommy's made his game plan pretty well known. He says he's gonna throw a lot of power. He kind of slipped up. I think he showed a little bit more of his game plan that he wanted to in the interview. And if we see a fight end within 4 rounds, you might have to give it to Tommy on that.
I agree. Listen, as much as we're rooting for Jake, I mean, if Tommy ends up getting the knockout in 4 rounds, hey, I got to salute my hat to him. I mean, this is an exhibition boxer versus influencer, even though I'm not looking at Jake anymore as too much of an influencer just because of the level of dedication and seriousness he's taking it.
Exactly.
But I mean, Tommy, his brother, his brother, his father comes from a boxing family. It was kind of funny though how in the press conferences, especially I think the one that came out yesterday, Jake was telling that Tommy was leasing the Fury name. I thought that was actually funny. So on the side note, the one-liners between the two in the back and forth trash talking was just gold. I mean, this was Floyd Mayweather-esque. So
this is A1 promotion, man. You really can't.
Definitely.
Coming down to promotion, dude, this guy knows both. Like, Jake just knows how to sell a fight, man. Like,
right.
Love him, hate him, whatever. He knows what he's doing when it comes to social media.
Real quick. So what does this fight do for Tommy, right? I mean, like, if he wins, what will this fight do for his career, right? Is this even necessary for him? Was this even necessary for him to fight Jake? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, on the one hand, he's talking about you're just an influencer boxing and da 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 da. But at the same time, you took this fight, and I mean, let's be real. The bag was nice. I'm assuming, So going forward for Tommy, if he does win, what does he gain from this?
Here's the thing, like Tommy wants this fight for one. Now, if Jake is going to call himself a professional fighter, Jake is going to, Tommy's going to take this fight. What does it do for his career beyond this? That's the thing I kind of disagree on, because if Jake loses, there will be a period of time where Jake is going to be inactive. Probably go back to the lab a little bit more, because the media is going to be all over him if he loses. The boxing world is going to be, oh, I knew it was a fake and yada yada. How'd you let Tommy beat you? But I don't really see many pros wanting to take Tommy up next, simply due to the level of promotion that Jake provides. Tommy doesn't provide this level of promotion.
Exactly. I was just about to say, I was like, yes. I was like, Jake is providing that stage, that platform. Going forward, what value does Tommy bring outside him? His only fame to claim right now is that he's just part of the Fury family. You know what I'm saying? So, and
that he's fighting Jake Paul. Those are the two things about him. I mean, let's be honest.
Right. So, so not much to really gain for Tommy going forward, outside for him to continue his trash talking that he beat an influencer. Okay, whoop-de-doo, right? Now, to wrap this up, Jake, we know the stakes are much bigger for Jake. Just because, he is the influencer boxer, and, he's technically, this time around, he's actually fighting a boxer. But if he does win this fight, right, because there's been talks now where, like he said it himself, like he has these other fights lined up with other potential influencers. I think he mentioned KSI and some other people as well too. But I mean, if Jake wins this fight, does he still need to go down the route of fighting other influencer boxers? I mean, at this point, he's added some credibility to his name. Okay, he's working his way up the ranks. He needs to start fighting actual fighters, right? Do you agree with that? Or do you think he should continue to get the bag and help these other influencer fighters come in? Or should he just continue to focus on himself and really try to become that world champ that he claimed that he wants to be?
So let me ask you that question, Matt. It sounds like you think he should only fight pros from this point forward.
I going forward, I think he should solely focus on continuing to fight other boxers. I don't care how low ranked, how much experience, just continue to fight. The more boxers he fights, the more credibility he's going to add to his resume. He takes a sidestep. Let's say he beats Tommy. Okay, he beats Tommy, and then he sidesteps to fight an influencer. Like, unless that influencer is also ranked in boxing and that other influencer has fought boxers too, I just don't really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I just think he should stick to fighting other boxers.
All right, so I'm with you on a couple different things here. So as much as I'm a fan of the influencer boxing. I've been liking seeing these people progress in that side of the sport, right? Like, it's unlimited resources, people that are brand new, 6 months, year, 2 years, getting to be able to compete on a stage. That's fine. The thing what I don't want to see, right, is I don't want to see Jake Paul, like, as much as I would love to see the storyline end between Jake and KSI, and that fight is rumored to happen at the end of the year. If he does beat Tommy, there is no point in taking that fight, because you would be going against your messaging of bringing more faces to the sport, right? Because we were talking about this off camera, right? If more low-level professional fighters, right, the ones that are in the gym grinding hard, started to realize the capability they could have with the proper promotion. If Jake continues to fight these lower fighters that don't have that type of promotion, highlighting the talent and bringing them in, hosting these events, even with the undercards that he's on, that's going to promote the sport of boxing, not fighting another guy who already has a huge following. And honestly, that would be the cherry on top to that entire feud. If he was just like, you know what, man, I'm fighting pros now. I don't want to fight you anymore.
Exactly. Boom. There we got it. Man. Man. Nah, I agree, man. I agree. I mean,
can you imagine? Yeah, just a mic drop, like, hey, man, like, listen.
Yeah.
I know Tommy Fury's kind of, if he beats him, I'm sure he's going to call him a can or a wash. But he's going to,
right.
I just beat Tommy. I'm no longer concerned with your fight. And if that fight was going to happen at the end of the year, Jake's already said he wants to fight 4 times this year. So who's he fighting in the second and third fight this year? That's what's going to decide whether or not that should happen at all.
Right. Promoters, the money. I mean, listen, if they think that gate is big to fight, because I know Jake is also, he's in the mindset that, like he mentioned himself, he needs to make his backers, his stakeholders, he needs to make the money. And if he has to sidestep to fight these influencers to continue to make bread so he can have a bigger platform to fight actual boxers, I will kind of change my stance a little bit though. But But I agree. I think for the most part, he needs to stick to
Well, there's
you
no
know, fighting
reason that an
boxers.
influencer card can't have an undercard with lesser known pros on it that can get a bigger payday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
cross over that fan base more, because I tell you what, there's a ton of fans that are like me that like the influencer side for what it is, not necessarily knowing the people, but knowing that they, you know, have that resource to become good. And then you have, you know, the other side of me that likes professional boxing. So like, you could take the storyline between him and KSI, make it the main event, have a co-main event, you know, between two other up and coming stars, and then fill the undercard with a bunch of mixed fights, whether it's influencers that want to become pros or just you know, pros that people don't really know. Easy
Absolutely.
money.
Easy money, man. So, man, Embry, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, man. I think we're gonna have a good one tomorrow, man. I think whatever happens
I'm excited.
tomorrow,
I'm very excited for this
we're gonna
fight.
be shocked. I think we're gonna be pleasantly surprised, you know, with the outcome. And you know, salute to Jake. We're Team Jake. So go get him, Jake.
Hey,
knock Tommy out.
Salute to both fighters for one, but
True,
Jake, you better
true.
knock that boy out for real.
Right. And Tommy better back that trash talk. I mean, Tommy wants to put him to sleep, so hey, man, put him to sleep,
It's
man.
not
So,
going to happen, bro. If he puts him to
Nah.
sleep, it will happen within 4 rounds. Jake is going to take.
Right.
If this fight goes the distance, Jake is going to win. And if it's a knockout in the 6th, 7th, or 8th round, it's going to be Jake. That's it.
Definitely, man. So, anyways, guys, thank you for checking out our fight preview of Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. This was a pleasure, Embry. I'm definitely going to put your channel info in the description for those who are into boxing. Embry is getting into boxing himself, so please check his channel out. He does a lot of shorts. He's starting to get into long form content, so definitely check him out, man. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the content, please leave us a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel. We out. Peace.
Peace.